Hello, and is this your first time staying at Fairford Airshow Camping, or you've been a few times before but just want to learn some new tips and tricks to make your visit better? Well, make sure you stick around and I'm going to show you how. Now, in this video, I'm going to go through the basics that you need to know about the campsite, especially if it's your first time, or maybe you've been once or twice before, but you're still trying to figure out how this site works. I wanted to make this to help you plan for the rain, wind and sun. We all know what the British summer can throw at us. Now, in this video, we'll be covering food and drinks, the best fields that suit you and facilities that they have on offer, plus photography viewpoints and what happens on arrival, plus lots more. So make sure stick around and I'll be answering some of your questions at the end. Now, I just want to be clear. This video is all made with good intentions. This is all based on my experiences. I've gone through a lot of your comments and questions on the Fairford Airshow Facebook group, and I've tried to cover the most commonly asked questions. This way, we'll hopefully answer them for you. Now, let's go back to my first setup, and even being an experienced camper before this, I forgot so many important items. I was unprepared, and this made my first solo trip harder and less enjoyable. Now, with every year that's gone past, I have researched and made lists to make the perfect pitch for my family who attend for the whole week. Now, this is why I want to help you plan your first visit so it's better than mine was. So, why do people stay at Fairford Airshow Camping? So, first things first, it's just the experiences alone. And honestly, if you plan this correctly, it's an amazing place to stay, but only if you are prepared. You've got jets flying right above your head, and these are actually the moments where you're getting better views than people inside the showground on the show days. Everyone's in a great mood and people are chatting, helping each other out, and it's just a really great and nice place to be. For example, I've seen lots of people lending items that are left at home, lending power sources and charging up phones and batteries and cameras, for example. People come together to really help out. And if you've got kids as well, it's honestly a great place to bring them. It feels safe, relaxed, and there's loads going on. But just remember, the dangers are still there. And also, when the weather's nice, just sitting there chilling with your friends and family, it's just a lovely feeling just being out. So what is Fairford Airshow Camping as well? So basically, during the week of RIAT, local landowners and farmers open up their farms to allow thousands of people to camp on their land for the weekend. This particular site is in a small village called Welford, which is less than a mile away from the yellow entrance and the runway, which this is a big advantage, and this is why so many people choose to camp on this site. And on average, it's about a 20-minute walk to the yellow entrance, and this is for pedestrians. It's clearly signposted, but to be honest, everyone's going to be going into the same direction. I do have a detailed guide on the website with pictures of where to go, and I'm going to link that in the description below. There are over 17 fields that you can stay in, and altogether this site covers about 75 acres, which is big, and I'm going to be covering these fields later on. Now, this is a Google Map image back from 2024 on the Friday, just to give you an idea on how busy this site looks. So depending on the wind direction, you've got aircraft flying straight over you and coming to land right above your head and right above the campsite. Now, these clips are from Yellowfield, so take a look, and this is the views that you are going to be seeing. Now, as you arrive, you will be directed into either of the 4 check-in lanes. Once your details are checked, you'll be directed into one of the fields that has the most space. If you arrive sort of in the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you have more choice because there's a lot more space. But anything from sort of the Thursday, Friday, the staff will direct you to the fields that has the most space. Now, things start getting busy from the Thursday evening and to the Saturday morning, so it can get pretty hectic during the day, and especially on Friday night. So expect a bit of a wait just to get in, but it's not as bad as it looks. As you arrive, the team do such an amazing job to get everyone checked in as quickly as they can. Now, just a few tips here. Have all your documents ready for check-in. This is the QR code that gets sent out to you on an email. Prepare this for arrival because the signal can be quite poor in the area. And by Thursday and Friday night, fields like your blue fields, brown and yellow fields will mostly be full. So fields a bit further out will have a lot more space. Now, what sort of vehicles and tents and stuff can we bring? And this is one of the most commonly questions asked. Now, the answer is pretty much anything. You've got everything from small tents to the tent boxes, caravans, motorhomes, all the way to the 40-foot motorhomes and bigger that I've seen. Pretty much like this one that I saw in one of the fields. So whether you're going for a simple setup or you're going all out like what we do, you're absolutely fine. Now, what to bring to this site? I will be doing a full detailed camping guide soon, but here are the basics just for this site alone. Now, one of the best things here is that you're not given a set pitch like other sites. If you arrive early, you can choose a nice spot in the field, but if you leave it later in the week, your options are going to be a bit more limited. But there's still plenty of space, so don't stress, it's just might be a bit further out. Unfortunately, there's no electric hookup, so I recommend bringing power banks or solar generators, a bit like this Jackery, for example. These are fantastic. Obviously, other brands are available. I'm not sponsored in this video. It's just, this is what what I've bought, what we use. This is a 240 watt solar generator, which runs off a 100 watt solar panel. For this year, I do have a 500 watt one as well, because there is at least between 10 to 15 of us on our pitch. So everyone's plugging in their phones and iPads and charging camera batteries and all sorts of, electrical equipment. And I thought for this year, we're just going to upgrade, but this still will be coming with us. The good thing about this, it's got your 12-volt socket, like cigarette lighters and stuff. Your 3-point plug, which what we do is we bring an extension lead and plug the extension lead into this, which gives us more options for charging. And it's got your USB sockets, and this here is where your solar panel gets plugged. And I think with the 500 watt and the newer models, it actually has USB-C charging points as well. There are other ones, you've got 100 watts, so if you're just on your own or just the two of you, they do have 100 watt generators with I think it's a 40 watt solar panel, which just keeps the cost down, and that's just perfect if you're charging your phones or camera battery and things like that. But if you're charging a bit more, 240 watts is fantastic. And even if it's just for two of you, and you don't charge it, this can last 2 or 3 days on a full charge. And yeah, I must admit, these are one of the best buys that I've had since upgrading all my equipment for RIAT. And what I'll do is I'll leave the link into the description for the Jackery website and a few others as well. Definitely highly recommended. And also small like petrol generators are allowed, but these are only allowed in the general, lively and family fields between the hours of 7 AM and 10:30 PM, but they're not allowed on quiet fields, and they need to be under the 1.8 kilowatts. But for most people, a 240 watt to a 500 watt power station is more than enough. But I said earlier, for most people, a 240 watt to a 500 watt sort of solar panel generator is perfect. Now, when it comes to tents, it really comes down to your personal choice. But one thing I would say is make sure your waterproof rating is at least a 2000 millimeter hydrostatic head or higher ideally. You'll want to look around sort of the 5000 millimeter if you want to be properly covered for heavy downpours. That's what's going to stop any leaks. But I have known people to have sort of a 2000 millimeter hydrostatic head, and they've been fine. So it depends what your budget allows. Obviously, better the higher the number, the better the waterproofing. But yeah, the Sandero range is around about 2000, and I have heard that they're really good for their waterproofing. Obviously, hopefully the weather behaves this year, but just remember back in 2023, if you were there, it can get very wet and very muddy, so please plan for this. These pictures, don't let them put you off. This is unfortunately what happened to all the sites around the area, and this is better to deal with. Hopefully this doesn't happen again, but this is what to expect if the worst, does happen with rain. And I will say the campsite done an amazing job to, rescuing people, getting people out of all the tractors. They've gone up, up and down all day. But yeah, just bear in mind if it does rain, this does happen unfortunately. So just prepare yourself, bring wellies and hiking boots. I will definitely say that. One of the key pieces of equipment, just make sure you bring suitable footwear because you never know what's going to happen. Also, keep in mind you are camping in a farmer's field, so the ground isn't always perfectly even. What we do is we tend to bring those rubber garage style mats that they connect together, just level it out a little bit, put stuff underneath just to make the flooring a bit more comfortable. Now I've actually put together a much more detailed camping guide on the website, so I'm going to leave a link in the description below if you want to check that out later. Now windbreaks, and these are honestly of a bit of a game changer when it comes to camping because they're great for adding some privacy, but also sort of like marking out your space in your pitch. You can even use to create a bit of a parking area and space for your car. And this is something that we always do. Otherwise, you might head out and come back, and unfortunately, there's a good chance someone's taking your spot. So it's just something to think about. Just, use this as an example on this picture. This is what I've done. Put the car next to your tent, and yeah, that's your pitch and your little car space saved. And finally, just a few simple bits that can really make your trip a lot smoother. Things like a decent torch, a headlamp, portable phone chargers, even as a backup. Definitely bring camping chairs, folding table, folding sort of, kitchen units, and folding sink if you're here for a long time. It just makes a massive difference. Also, bring wet wipes, hand sanitizer. They're always handy, especially when using like the portaloos, and a small first aid kit, as this is one of those things you don't always think about until you're going to really need it. There is a pharmacy as well in Fairford, which I will go through these essentials later in the video. Also, a cool box for your food and drinks, beers obviously. It's a fantastic option. It's just even like bring camping stoves, and these just make a massive difference to your camping experience. It's also worth bringing basic cooking gear like all your utensils and pots and pans, tea, coffee, sugar, condiments. This might sound simple, but having those bits can really save you quite a lot of money instead of buying everything at your local shops. And these are the biggest things I forgot on my first solo trip. If this is your first time camping, try to pack pretty much for every eventuality. Weather can change very quickly. I'm surprised at how many basic essentials that you actually end up needing. Like I said, the first time I went, I forgot loads and I learned the hard way. That said, don't overpack, just be thoughtful with it. Make sure that you've covered the basic, cutlery, cooking, matches, lighters, anything else that you're going to use regularly, really. If you have been before and, like me, forgot quite a few things like last time, now's the time to fix that. Have a quick think back, make a list, and make sure those bits, make it into your bag this time. It's all those small adjustments that make the whole experience feel a lot more relaxed and a lot more enjoyable. I will be making a detailed camping video for RIAT in the coming weeks, which I will be posting on the Facebook group and the Big Guide to RIAT website, and all my social media links. So check that out once I've actually get that posted for you. Now let's talk about sleeping, because this is actually a vital part of your camping experience. If you can, definitely worth looking at getting a camping bed or higher air bed, something like a fishing bed. Just raised even a foot off the ground can make a massive difference to how warm you stay during the night, because temperatures can really drop once that sun goes down, especially if you're in an open field. It's just something people often underestimate and overlook, and especially if you're bringing children, make sure they're properly wrapped up and kept warm throughout the night time. So make sure that you pack plenty of warm layers, extra blankets, and anything that's going to help you keep the heat in overnight. Personally, I have a fishing bed, and it's probably one of the best things as well that I've bought camping. It's just comfortable, keeps you off the ground, and just makes the whole experience a lot better, and it's better for your back as well. Now, if you're only coming for the one night or two, just keeping the cost down, it's actually absolutely fine. Just make sure you bring something like a thick duvet, nice warm sleeping bag, a decent airbed, just those small upgrades can really make a huge difference. And how well you sleep, because it is important, especially on the long days. A bit like RIAT, you know, like 12, 14, 15-hour days. Oh, and earplugs. You will thank me later for them, because people snore, people are loud, there may be music that just gets you to sleep, or, you know, wearing headphones with music in, something that we do. It's just one of those things that just try and minimise outside noise. And it is funny, you know, we're in a big field and every so often you just hear people snoring. So yeah, earplugs or ear defenders of some sort, just, you know, it keeps that noise down for you, so hopefully get to sleep. Sometimes you might be a bit worse for wear, so you're just gonna fall asleep anyway, outside or in the tent. It's a few drinks, so yeah. But if not, earplugs, definitely one of the good things to bring. Now, if anyone remembers back in 2022 when the temperatures were pushing, you know, 40 degrees plus, it was honestly unbearable. Hopefully we don't see that temperatures again, but, you know, somewhere in the mid-20s would be absolutely perfect. But that said, make sure you've got some form of shade, because without it, it can get pretty tough during the day. You know, something like a Coleman event shelter like this is what we have, makes a massive difference, and it's well worth considering. That year, it was definitely a bit of a learning curve for us, as we didn't have anything like that. The thing that catches a lot of people out as well is just how quickly the temperature drops overnight. The day can get really warm. Once that sun goes down, it just cools off fast. Now, I remember back in 2022, and everyone's walking around in, you know, t-shirts, shirts, shirtless, and in the evening, it got that cold. Everyone was in, you know, blankets and coats. And I can remember phoning my partner back then. You know, she was at home that year, and I remember calling and saying, "Oh, you know, how's your day been, etc." And she was like, "Yeah, it's really hot, you know, stifling." It was. And I said to her, "You know, we're wrapped up in blankets, and they're like, they can't get cold. The windows open for night time." So that's just the difference between camping in the field and obviously being at home. And obviously this was due to the open fields, no heat being trapped to keep the area warm. So just remember to bring clothing for those cooler nights. So facilities. Okay, so let's talk about the facilities, because this is quite important when it comes to camping here. Now, across the site, you've got portaloos in every field. The team do a fantastic job of keeping them clean and tidy for guests. Plus, they are emptied daily when the lorry goes round and empties them. Actually, these are what the portaloos look like. Now, when it comes to the showers, they are available, but only in certain fields. There were 3 shower blocks in the yellow field, and from what I remember last year, I think there were 5 in the grey field. And the reason why there's in that field is just due to the logistics of water and getting to and from the fields. The showers do get busy, obviously in the early mornings, as people are getting ready for to head into the show. If you are staying on site for the show, then you normally don't have to queue throughout the day. You know, something I do, I pick an act that I don't need to see, like a helicopter display, for example, because you know we're not going to see that over the campsite. So you know, you've got about sort of a 20-minute gap where if you do want to watch the show, then you've got at least 20 minutes to go and have a shower, refresh, come back, carry on watching the air show. And that's something that I've done for quite a few years now, if it's really busy in the morning. And then, yeah, around the end of time, they do get quite busy again. Obviously, people coming back from the show, etc. But yeah, night time, sort of 11, 12, they're nice and quiet. Now, if you're in a caravan, camper van, motorhome, and you have your own shower and toilet, then honestly, you've got a lot more flexibility for the field that you can pick. And this means you can stay a lot more further up, away from sort of like the Jenner's Barn area, and you can be more comfortable. It's less crowded generally. So yeah, the people who are camping are generally going to be closer to the facilities. Now, being self-sufficient, you can sort of stay away from all the rush. I'm not saying this will always be the case, whether this will be the case generally from the Saturday to the Thursday, where obviously, you know, you've got thousands of people arriving on the Friday and, you know, Saturday, arriving at all sorts of times. So just finding any spare bit of grass in certain fields. Just remember to leave at least a minimum of 3 meters from your neighbours. They do come and check on this. Views from the campsite. Right, so let's talk about what sort of view you're roughly going to see from each field, because honestly, this is one of the best parts of staying at Fairford Airshow Camping. So first up, we'll talk about the glamping field. Now, if you booked one of the glamping tents, you're in for a bit of a treat. Not only do you get extra comfort, but you also get some really nice side-on views of the aircraft arriving. and even displaying overhead. So when the aircraft are coming in, you'll typically get about 30 to 40 seconds solid side-on view, where you can watch them line up, come in for their run and brakes, and they also disappear off into the distance. Now, if you want to get a better idea of what that looks like, there is a video over on YouTube. I'm going to leave that link in the description, so check that out after this video if you want to. Now, the green, grey, red, pink and brown and blue areas, fields, they all offer sort of the similar view on the aircraft on final side-on approaches as they come into land, and there's a strong chance of seeing the display flying overhead. So this picture was taken from the grey field back in 2017 of the Italian Tornado display, and it gives you a good insight of what to expect. And this picture of the Qatari Hawk was taken from the brown field on finals. So that just gives you an idea of the view from the brown field. Now, for more of a closer view of the aircraft, the yellow, rainbow, orange, lime and pink extension and the white field will have views, overhead and side-on shots shown here. So this image was taken from the yellow field, and this image was also taken from the rainbow field. And hopefully that will help you choose what sort of field to choose from. Now, moving on to the Park and View field. Now, in recent years, Fairford Airshow Camping have opened up another field just off the main road, and this is one of a bit of a hidden gem really, because if you're staying on site, you can access this for free, which is great. But if you're coming in by a vehicle, then it's £15 per person, but under sevens can go in free. The views here are generally amazing, and I often pop here myself to take photos, and you can see the whole display line clearly. It actually is a fantastic spot for photography as well, especially if you want a bit more space to set up. It's also a really good option if you're trying to save just that bit of money but still want a brilliant view of the show. If you're coming by car or tickets have sold out and you've missed out on this year, this is definitely somewhere to consider. You won't get access to the static aircraft obviously, but of course you can still see the full flying displays at a fraction of the price. If you want more information on that, I'm going to leave a link in the description below so you can take a look. And just to mention facilities quickly, you still access to things like Jenner's Bar, on-site food options, as well as the toilets. And in the Park and View option itself, there are portalees available, so you're covered. And this is just a few pictures of the Park and View area for Fairford Airshow Camping, and just some pictures of what to expect. So yeah, this is the check-in marquee and desk that they have, and where you pay your money. This is the entrance to the actual field. It's very well signposted. So whether you're camping, glamping, heading over to Park and View, you've got some seriously good options when it comes to watching the show from Fairford Airshow Camping. Now we're going to talk about food and drink and sort of the social hub to this campsite. Now this is where things get really good, because Jenner's Bar is basically the centre of everything on this site. It's located in the blue field by the entrance, and at the bar you've got a good range of local ales, cider and lager, and some of the drinks are aviation themed, which is cool. The bar is generally opened from Tuesday onwards. However, if it does open earlier during that week, it will be posted on the Facebook page by the staff. There's also a big marquee with tables and chairs. People can just sit, relax and have a good chat. And in the evening, this is also where the live entertainment is. We'll discuss that a little bit later on. There is also a small shop on site which sells all your essentials. It does get restocked daily, which is really handy, and it has like your bread, your milk and your sweet treats, toiletries. And this is right next to Jenner's Bar, so you've got a really nice coffee trader there as well, so like your usual sort of coffee shop and drinks. Then of course, Andrea's ice cream van. Now this guy, he does laps of the campsite all day. You can hear his tune going. He will eventually get to you. It can take a little time depending on where you are, because there's thousands of people on the campsite. And if you are desperate for an ice cream, don't chase him down and hunt him down. You'll be more than welcome to do that. Now, this is the ice cream van to look out for. Now, in the evenings, they've usually got a fire pit going, plus barbecue, food, pizzas, live music, all the way from Thursday to Saturday. And honestly, the atmosphere here is really good. Everyone's in great spirits and people are talking, sharing all their stories. It's just a really nice environment to be in. There's a really nice community feel here as well. You will see people helping each other out on this site as well. You know, like I said earlier, lending stuff, helping to charge phones and cameras, etc. And if you have any other questions while you're there, the Facebook page called Fairford Airshow Camping is a great place to ask for advice. I try to answer as much as I can, and if I can't, there are other people on there who will help answer your questions, and I'll leave a link in the description below. And this group is actually run by the group owners. Now, we're going to talk about photography tips. So if you're into photography, this is where things get quite interesting. Like I said earlier, the views are amazing, and it really depends on the type of shots that you want. If you're going for the underbelly shots, then it feels like the yellow, orange, lime and rainbow are really good options for you to go and have a look at. But because the fields are so big, you are going to get some really nice side-on shots from those same areas. Here's a few examples of what you will be able to capture. Now, this is just some advice on the lenses that you can use from the fields. Now, I use a range from a 24 to 70 for formation passes, like fly pass, and then cropping if I need to. A 7200 for the larger aircraft is great in yellow, rainbow, lime and orange, for example. And then for the main displays, a 200 to 500, depending on what fields you're in. But for most arrivals as well, a 300mm is fantastic as well. Now, in the mornings, I like to photograph really in the rainbow field as the sun is out. If the sun is out, it's going to be behind you. And this is the difference in images from my usual spot in the yellow field, taking photographs into the light. So here's the comparison between photograph into the light and away from the light in rainbow field. Even if it is overcast, I do find it helps as well. You will find a lot of photographers sitting in the rainbow field throughout the morning and the afternoon. Now, from the rainbow field, you will be able to see the planes arriving from the distance for longer, plus any go-arounds, you'll see them sort of banking round and sort of into the distance. And your best options for good lighting are rainbow fields, lime field, white field and a teal field. And this is because in the mornings the sun will be behind you. If you look at this map, green line will show the flight path. So anything south of the line, you're going to have the sun behind you, which is ideal. Now, these shots were taken all from the rainbow field. On arrival days, you will notice a lot of photographers, because it's quiet, heading over to the rainbow field, mainly because it's big and open. I haven't personally shot from teal field yet, so I can't fully comment on that. I can imagine it's still a very decent view. White field is definitely a solid option as well though. Also, for arrivals, especially for brown, blue, orange, yellow and lime, tends to be some really good options as well. Okay, we're nearly there. So if you're after some local shops, here is a list, all within sort of a 10-minute drive away, including a pharmacy, takeaway and some shops in the Fairford village. You can walk to, but it's just best to drive because of the distance. And just be aware of the one-way systems that are in place on the show days. And 5 minutes up the road, there is a Shell petrol station with a shop on site, just offering your basic supplies that are in petrol stations. And all the address is on the screen here. And this is the list of all of the shops in the local area. And I'm going to post these in the description for you to just copy and paste if you need to for the sat-navs. Okay, so we are getting near the end, and thank you so much for sticking around. I do hope this video has helped, especially for your first time. I know there's a lot of information to go through and process, but I just really want to help you plan your trip to this campsite and RIAT better than my first time was. So just a few tips for bringing children. For the first time, remember to bring ear defenders. It's an air show, plane's going to be loud. I'm not a parent, so I'm not going to tell you how to parent, obviously, but from observations as well, I do see family bringing, ball games, swing ball, or when the campsite's quiet, I've seen people playing cricket and it's great to watch. Depends on the number of days that you're attending. It can be a long day and time for kids. Also at night, it does get cold, so please remember to pack plenty of warm outfits and blanket. And just another top tip, if you have a tablet for for your kids, anything like Disney Plus is on there, just remember to download the film before you arrive. So mobile service isn't great, and I'll cover that in a bit because that's one of the questions that was asked in the group. Obviously parents, you know your kids, but there's just a few tips if this is going to be your first time coming. Anyway, that's it. That's everything from me. If you've got any questions we haven't gone through, I've missed, just drop them in the comments and I'll hopefully help you and get back to you on that. If not, put them into the Fairford Airshow Campsite Facebook group and people will also help. And if you've stayed here before, share your favourite field or any tips. It will really help people out. I'd just like to say from me, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching, and I really do hope this has helped you. I know it's a very long video, but it's so much information I wanted to share. If you do see me around the campsite, come and say hello. I do camp in the yellow field. Our pitch you can't miss. It's quite bright with that Blackpool illuminations. But yeah, come and say hi and discuss anything. I'll be happy to help and go through anything. If you don't mind liking and subscribe to this channel, and like I said, comment if you need to. Yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.